Okay, now we should be good to go. Okay, sorry about that. We're trying to deal with it. Hopefully now it works. All right, I'm waiting for me to appear. Okay, now we got audio. Now we can start. So, as I said, welcome to a new stream. Today we're doing some video editing. I have a short to show you guys. Like, I want to show you what my workflow is in Davinci Resolve, and to show you how we get to the end result with the shorts. I don't think I'll do it with the long forms because obviously I'm trying to keep them as private as possible before we release them. But when it comes to shorts, I do not really mind. That being said, as I said, I'm going to show you how I begin and what I do while editing, video editing. I'm using Davinci Resolve, the free version, and I usually have a template, so to speak, about a template for my videos, for my short videos. Okay. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, got it. Bye. So yeah, as I said, Davinci Resolve, the free version. See this short iPhone 16e. This is like the template, because I think the first short or the second, one of the first shorts that we've done on this channel was about the iPhone 16e, and since then I kept this template, this project, for a number of reasons. The first one is that my timeline is already set up to the correct resolution and aspect ratio. By that I mean that I'm doing vertical videos, so I don't have to modify that, change that every single time when I create a new project. Second would be that I have stuff which I always use in all shorts. I'm talking about sound effects, the YouTube subscribe button and all, so I do not have to import them every single time when I create a new project. But for the purpose of this live stream, I'm going to start from scratch. New project, and I'm just going to name it Titanium Heart short. Yes, we are creating a short about a titanium heart which has been well invented, and I believe that that's simply amazing. I'm going to start by importing my clips in the media pool. I'll start with what I filmed, which is this one, I believe. Sorry about the mess here. I haven't deleted everything since the last short, 16th of April. There we go. So this one, it's going to ask me if I want to change the project frame rate, because the clips, when I import them, have a different frame rate. I'm filming in 4K XAVCS 30 frames per second, and my timeline, I believe, is in 24 or 25 or 60. I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't care, because I just click change and that's it. And this is the audio. For now, I'm just going to keep this too. We'll add more things a bit later. So this is what Davinci calls cut, the cut panel. I'm not using it because I like to do all of my edits from here, from the edit tab, where I have the timeline here. There are multiple ways in which you can start. First things first, we need to create a timeline. Now you can just drag and drop this. You can just drag and drop this clip here, and it will automatically create the timeline. Or what you can do, what you can just right click here in the master, in the media pool, timelines, create new timeline, and it's just going to create one of them. If you use the project settings, it will do it will do the resolution that you've set up from the very beginning, plus the orientation. Now, if you drag and drop this to the timeline straight away, the timeline that will be created, that will basically do this. So it's like right-click, timeline screen, new timeline, with this one checked. I'm going to leave it unchecked because I want to go with you through some stuff. So timeline resolution, 3080, sorry about that, 3840 per 2160, which is 4K or Ultra HD. And this is basically a 16:9 aspect ratio, which means that for every 16 pixels on the horizontal line, we have 9 pixels going on the vertical line. This is what you would call, let's say, a landscape aspect ratio. For me, because we're doing a YouTube short, a TikTok, an Instagram reel, whatever, we're going to check use vertical resolution. You can manually just type in here 2160 by 3840, and it's going to check this automatically. It doesn't make sense. Just check this, and that's it. Monitor. Now, it depends on how you want to see things. To me, viewing everything in full HD is fine at 2997 frames per second. Again, fine, because this is the resolution and the aspect ratio that will eventually come out, even though I'm going to export everything in 4K. As long as I see everything good in full HD, I'm good to go with 4K afterwards. 30 frames per second, this is the resolution that I'm filming in, so that's fine. Video bit depth, I'm just going to use 8 bits because that's what my camera is filming, basically. I'm using a Sony ZV-E10, and this is pretty much the best that it can do. I can film in S-Log and stuff. I'm not really interested into that. It's just not worth for sorry about that, for what I'm doing here. The output resolution, we're going to set that afterwards, and the color, Rec 709 with Rec 709 and Davinci YRGB is more than fine. Create. Now we have a timeline. If I drag and drop this here, as you can see, everything is in vertical. For me to see what I'm doing here, okay, so it's like, as you can see, when I filmed, I didn't stay in the middle, which is fine. When you film a short, I'm being more careful when I film long forms because those are in landscape and I need to be in the middle. I do not really afford to crop that much, but in my case, it's left and right where I have plenty of space, as you can see. So what I'm going to do before I add the audio, I'm just going to modify the position here for the whole clip. And yeah, that's it. I'm just doing a few checks here and there to check if my position is constant throughout the whole video. And now what I need to do is to synchronize the audio that came out of the camera. This is the audio, basically. Let me show you.
Could you survive?
So as you can see, it sounds pretty rough. What I want to hear is the sound that comes out of this microphone right here. This is a PreSonus M7. I'm using it with an AudioBox 98. A simple setup. We don't talk about that for now. This is the recording that I've done in Studio One. So what I need to do now is to link these two clips, to synchronize them, basically. For that, I'm just going to make this a bit bigger, and what I need to do now is to identify what I'm saying, like certain things. And if you can see, they are almost, let's say, almost synchronized. By the way, if you have any specific questions, just drop them in the chat. I'm having a look at it as many times as I can. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you would have. Okay, so now I have the audio almost synchronized. I need to hear it. They're not. Sorry for my Romanian. You can zoom in, so you can zoom in, and now they're almost there. Almost there.
Is it?
I'm just going to mute this, and I want to hear what I got.
3, 2, 1.
Always, all the time, when I'm filming, I'm just going to use this saying.
3, 2, 1.
That's basically 3, 2, 1 in Romanian, because obviously I'm alone when I'm filming and I'm living in Romania, and that's my native language. If this is what I'm using to synchronize everything. If I'm looking here, they're not perfectly synchronized. See this one right here. This should be fine, I guess. Let me just check here.
Has a single floating rotor held.
And I have some issues with my PC setup when it comes to audio, so you will see some artifacts there. It is what it is for now. I'm still dealing with it. I'm still researching. I hate you Windows for that. Okay, now I got the audio synchronized, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select all clips. I'm going to link them, unlink them, and I'm just going to delete the audio that came out of the camera. Okay, I'm going to take this one here. I've used this marker here to basically keep the position of the audio. I'm going to unmute it and check again.
Groundbreaking artificial heart has a single floating rotor held by magnets.
Okay, so now I got the audio synchronized, and what I'm going to do next, I'm going to apply cuts. I'm going to do cuts, and I don't want to make a cut like this. Cut here first, cut here after. I'm going to select both of them, link them again, and this time around, when I'm making a cut, the cut will be applied on absolutely all of them. Well, no matter how many tracks you have linked, this is going to work. Now, on all of them, and this is also dependent on this linked selection. If I untick this, doesn't matter if they're linked or not, the cut or whatever you want to modify on that clip will not be applied. And this does not apply on stuff like transitions or stuff which is not compatible between the two formats, because here we have audio and video, so you cannot put a video transition on an audio track. So now that we have everything linked up, I'm just going to import some of the stuff that I know I'm going to use. So I have this folder here called Constante, which in English would be translated as constants. So this is the intro that we used to have when we were Digital Dash. Now we are some techie stuff, so I'm not using that anymore. I need to create a new one. This is the outro video that we use at the end of the long forms. For now, I'm only interested in this YouTube subscribe button. And if I remember correctly, I hope I remember correctly. So I do have some stuff I need to remember here, this one. So these are transitions that I use on my videos all the time. Lately, I'm using them on shorts because I'm trying to make the videos more dynamic. What I'm interested in is the SFX. I'm going to use this quite a lot. Mostly, I'm interested in the glitch, swoosh, whoosh, and maybe the system fail. I'm just going to keep this one here. Now, let's start making cuts. So,
Could you survive without?
Because it's recently filmed, I kind of know where I'm starting, and I believe it's here.
For 100 days.
Okay.
Could you survive without a real heart? One Australian man did for 100 days.
Okay, so here I will stop because I'm starting here again. As you can see, so what I'm doing, I started here. I'm just going to delete this. I've done that by pressing Shift and Delete at the same time. I'm cutting most of the spaces which are in between my sentences, which make my sentences sound slower, which and every single pause like this has a chance of making you, the viewer, just swipe away from my video, and I do not want that. Let me show you the difference. So I'm just going to play it with the pause, and then I'm going to play it without.
Real hard. One Australian man.
So I'm going to delete it. So Shift Delete. That's going to get out the gap.
Real hard. One Australian man.
See, it's flawless now. It has a flow. It keeps the sentence going, and it has to keep the attention of the viewer. Okay, now I'm going to remove this one because I know I don't need it.
Australian man did for 100 days, thanks to this incredible titanium heart. Okay, we carry on.
So this is the point where I stop. Normally, but in my case, because as I said, I have some issues with the audio. my tripod is here for the microphone, but I have some hardware issues. Normally, I would clap when I finish such a sentence. So I will clap just so I can see on the timeline where I need to make the cut or where I have a good part. So I know that where I see a clap, before that there's something good, something which can be kept in the video. Obviously there are exceptions here and there, but this is the main point. So I'm clapping every single time when I finish a sentence. Let me show it. Let me give you an example. So I'm clapping whenever I finish a sentence. Like that, I know when I can make a cut and carry on with the script. Something like that. I'll show you more examples in the future. This is not the first time when we will do this. Now, important to be considered, I'm using a prompter, so this looks a bit cleaner now. Back in the days when we just started the channel, or actually until like 2 or 3 months ago, it was a complete mess. So it wasn't that smooth before. Now I'm using a teleprompter. I'm still getting used with it, but the job is much easier. And if we look here,
Vivacor's groundbreaking artificial heart has a single floating rotor held by magnets. No valves, no bearings, just pure titanium innovation. It replaced both ventricles, pumping blood perfectly while this patient waited over 3 months for a donor transplant. It's the longest anyone's ever lived with this tech, and it could change the future for thousands stuck waiting for donor hearts.
okay, so this one is a long one. As you can see, I made cuts while listening to what I was saying, and probably you also saw this. Pause right here. I'll tell you why I did that. For now, I can still see some spaces which are empty, and I can remove them. What is important to know, you don't have to exaggerate with stuff like this. I sometimes do, and I admit that, but for the sake of it, I'm just going to cut all of this because I believe it will actually do a good job. Now, I want to select all of them, so I'm just going to keep Control pressed and then left click on all of them. Bam, bam. And now when I click Shift Delete, boom, we have everything lined up and clean. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to click play, and I'm going to listen to how it sounds overall. I'll try to detach myself from it, so
Could
let's see.
you survive without a real heart? One Australian man did for 100 days, thanks to this incredible titanium heart. Vivacor's groundbreaking artificial heart has a single floating rotor held by magnets, no valves.
Okay, I'm going to pause here because I heard me breathing. That I want to remove all of that because I'm basically running out of air, and again, it might make the viewer just swipe away from my content, and I don't want that. Let's hear it
Rotor
again.
held by magnets, no valves, no bearings, just
I do believe it can be better, so I need to do it in I need to do a bit more details. So I'm just going to do this instead. Alright, this should be better. Do not be afraid to to make small adjustments here and there. They might not seem important, but trust me, they are. When you gather all of the small changes that you do in the grand scheme of things, you'll see, you will not regret it. Hello Wick, how is it going, man? I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know, man.
titanium heart. Vivacore's groundbreaking artificial heart has a single floating rotor held by magnets, no valves.
This is much better. Another thing that you need to take into consideration, and please don't forget about it, control, save your project, because I swear to God, the number of times Davinci crashed on me is simply astonishing. I'm not sure why and what I can do about it, but I can. So when I was doing video editing on my Mac Mini, which is way weaker than my PC setup right now, so I could count on my right hand fingers the amount of times DaVinci crashed on me. On Windows, with my Ryzen 7 Ryzen 7 5800X with 32 gigabytes of RAM and, well, an Intel Arc B580, which is an entry level but still does the job. It's simply very bad when it comes to stability, if may I say. Well, whatever. Yeah, let's carry on.
Held by Mac.
Maybe I can do this one here. I want to see how it sounds.
Floating rotor held by magnets, no valves,
Yeah,
no bearings, just pure titanium.
I'm going to take out this brake here because it's not needed. There are situations when you need to have those brakes, and when we will get here on this side, you'll see what I mean. But in this case, I simply do not need it.
Bearings, just pure titanium innovation. It replaced both ventricles, pumping blood perfectly while
I can do this one as well here. They don't have to be perfect, by the way. Only when something doesn't sound right, that's when you need to zoom in and check every single thing there. But in cases like this, as you can see, I'm doing it like on the go most of the times because they don't have to be perfect.
pumping blood perfectly.
Here, I need to make it a bit shorter. Even though there is no specific break there, I need to make it short.
Pumping blood perfectly.
Okay, I don't like it actually, so I'm just going to leave it there.
Blood perfectly.
And
Blood perfectly. Blood perfectly.
okay.
While this patient waited over 3.
Now, this is a big break here. However, what I'm going to do, and you'll see that, I'm going to add a video effect together with a sound effect, so I can amplify, so I can create tension into the video. Very important stuff. For that reason, I'm going to leave this break here. If I feel that I need it to be shorter, I'll just make a cut here. As simple as that. Okay, let's carry on.
3 months for a donor transplant. It's the longest
I can make this shorter here.
transplant. It's the longest anyone's ever.
This one as well here.
Longest anyone's ever lived with this tech, and it could change the.
Okay, I want to make this one shorter here as well. What you need to take into consideration when you're filming yourself, maybe the way you put accent on words and stuff, maybe it will not be perfect, and that's completely normal. The reason why as you can see, I'm making quite a lot of cuts here, is because I do not really care about the accent that I put on words, because in some points you can actually feel the fact that there is a cut in the audio, and that might be disturbing, that might be not. But trust me, it is better to have that compared with having a lot of empty spaces where you don't talk, but you have like the flow, the link between the audio waves and everything. Trust me, it's much better than that.
Tech, and it could change the future.
Because see, here in this case, and it could change. You can feel that cut there, but it's not that bad. Whereas here,
Because anyone's ever lived with this tech.
all of these are cuts, and they do not sound that bad. But here,
Months for a donor transplant. It's the
some of them sound a bit more unnatural. Some of them sound natural. That's fine.
could change the future for thousands stuck waiting
Here as well.
for donor heart.
Now, if you ask me, maybe I could have like filmed this video better. I feel like I don't have enough energy, but that's just me. But I think you got the idea. Let's carry on and finish the cuts, because we've got just a few things here.
And it could change the future for thousands stuck waiting for donor hearts.
See, we have a lot of cuts, but it sounds natural. That's what I mean.
I can't stress this enough. 3 months with an artificial heart. That's insane.
Now, because I have the audio issues here, this is, by the way, this is not part of the script. Sometimes I add stuff like this live when I'm filming. So this,
An artificial heart.
because of that artifact there, I'm just going to leave this, the last part here. I'm just going to delete this, because this part here where I say it's insane, it still emphasizes on the idea of the video, like a titanium heart. It hurt, like a titanium heart. It's insane. Someone has lived 3 months with a titanium heart inside them as a replacement for their biological heart.
Thousands stuck waiting for donor hearts. That's insane.
Now here the transition is not that good, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to cut these spaces here. All right, let's see.
Hearts. That's insane.
And I quite like it. Now, see, I have this cut, so I know from here to here should be something good, from here to here something good, from here to here something good. Let's carry on.
Could artificial hearts soon replace donor transplants entirely? Let me know in.
So see, here I fumbled it. I basically lost it. So what I did, well, I did a boop in the microphone. I had to find a way, because my right hand was holding the prompt remote, and the other hand was handling the microphone, so I couldn't clap. But I was creative. All right, good. Let's carry on.
Could artificial hearts soon replace donor transplants entirely? Let me know in.
So I have the question. This one is good. I want to see if I made the transition good enough.
Could artificial hearts soon?
Yep, I'm happy with it. Let's carry on here.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing. And don't forget.
See, again. And I sometimes say where to start off from.
And don't forget
And don't forget.
the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.
I say that because here I have this break which allows me to retake a part of that specific sentence. So,
And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing tech breakthroughs. Now,
okay. Boom. Boom. And that's it. 53 seconds. And we've done it in how much time together with explanations and everything? 31 minutes. That's not too bad. It usually takes a bit less, but obviously I'm trying to explain as much as I can during this live stream. So this is how the timeline looks right now. Let's make another replay. Let's play it again to see if we got it correctly. And this time around, I'm just going to press P. So I pressed P, and I'm just going to play everything and see how I did.
Could you survive without a real heart? One Australian man did for 100 days, thanks to this incredible titanium heart. Bivacor's groundbreaking artificial heart has a single floating rotor held by magnets. No valves, no bearings, just pure titanium innovation. It replaced both ventricles, pumping blood perfectly while this patient waited over 3 months for a donor transplant. It's the longest anyone's ever lived with this tech, and it could change the future for thousands stuck waiting for donor hearts. That's insane. Could artificial hearts soon replace donor transplants entirely? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing tech breakthroughs.
I'm more than happy with it, honestly. Yeah, so that's it. That's like the first part, and this is pretty much the easiest one. Now, if you are scared, if you're scared to do like to do transitions, effects, and stuff like that, it is fine. If you're at the beginning, if you just put some images here and there, stuff like that, the short will be decent, yeah. But now I want to show you what I'm actually doing to make it better. So here I start straight away.
Could you survive?
But because I want to make a more dynamic intro with maybe a visual hook and stuff, I want like how many frames? Let's say 5 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to calculate everything in frames, by the way, not in time. So I moved 5 frames. With the left and right arrows in Davinci, you move 1 frame. You can also see them represented here. So every single, oh, sorry about that. Every single second, in my case, is divided in 30 frames. And I'm going to make this longer.
Could you
Now, I got this break here. So what I'm going to do with it, I'm just going to cut here, to make a cut here. Come on. Oh, come on. Here. And what I'm going to do now, I want to make like a zoom out effect. I'm doing it on absolutely all the shorts. If you want to quickly check what I'm talking about, you can do it. But I'm going to show you how I do it. The reason why I love Davinci Resolve so much is because a free version gives you a lot of tools to work with. At some point it will not make sense to use stuff like Premiere Pro. So I'm going to use this thing called dynamic zoom. So see, it did this when I activated it. I want to show you what it does, so I'm playing it.
Could you
So see, basically it starts with like a zoom in, and when I move frame by frame, it's going to zoom out and come back to the normal. I want to modify it, obviously. I'm going to put ease in and ease out for a smoother movement. I'm going to show you what I mean by that a bit later. So, first things first. If you want to modify the zoom itself, you have this little thing here. If you click on the arrow, you'll have a drop down and you'll see transform, which is by default off. If you click on the icon, it will activate it. It will basically show you stuff like the position, the anchor point. I'll show you that as well, and why it is important. What I'm interested in is dynamic zoom. And as you can see, dynamic zoom basically tells you how zoomed in you are and how zoomed out you will be. Well, it's not the best explanation. However, if I make this, consider this as being like the original. So this is This is basically the original size. The bigger the distance between these, the green and the red is, the bigger the zoom will be. So if I click play now, let me actually go to transform. See, the zoom is much bigger. Now, another issue that we have, because I wasn't perfectly centered when I started filming, is that, as you can see, the zoom is kind of coming from the left side, and I don't want that. What I want it to start, I want myself to be in the middle when I'm actually like doing, when I'm actually zoomed in. You would say that, okay, we can modify, oh, not this one, you can modify the position. See, everything is better now. However, when you zoom out, as you can see, there is the difference. When you zoom out, you won't be centered anymore. For that, we will need to use the anchor point. Look at this, how it moves. The anchor point, yeah. I'm going to delete this one. For some reason, it does not work. Okay, come on now.
Could you?
Oh, I see why it doesn't work. I'll show you why. And this is something that I'm actually finding out right now. See, you learn stuff. It will only work when you zoom in from here. Interesting. Okay. So I'm just going to leave them on 0. I'm not really, this is the beginning and it will be blurred out. You'll see what I mean. Okay, I'm happy with it. Now, I want to give it an effect. So I'm going to go to Open Effects. I'm going to take the Zoom Blur. This is how it's called. You can also find it by just typing in Zoom Blur in the Open Effects or or the toolbox. I know where to find it, and you can also mark it as favorite. So if you go to favorites, let me just do it as. See, I have a few things that I'm using quite a lot on the long forms and everything. I'm just going to take the zoom blur and I'm going to make it strong. And now I'm going to show you how to make an automation, because when I reach the last frame, the zoom is still there, but I do not want that. So I'm just going to click on this little dot right here, which is next to pretty much any parameter that can be automated. So zoom, position, rotation angle, anchor point, you name it. So I'm just going to go to effects, because this is where the zoom blur would go. I'm going to press this one. It turned orange, which means that if I'll show you when the automation happens, which means it basically placed a point in the clip, at a certain time, at a certain frame. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and press this one again, it will create another point, and I can reduce, make it 0 actually. I can reduce the zoom blur quantity to 0 now. Watch what happens. The further it goes, the less zoom we get. Let's see how it looks. And yeah, that's how it works. If I zoom in and press this one, and obviously make this one bigger, you can see the automation represented graphically. If I press on this one, I have a few options, like, this is the ease in and this is the ease out. So as you can see, what it does, it creates a kind of S-curve. so it's going to be a bit smoother. I'm usually not really using it like that when I'm doing the zoom blur. This is more of an example for you. I'm just going to leave it like that. It makes things a bit smoother. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it looks good. Now, it looks good, but it sounds bad. And for that, we're going to look for a sound effect right here. I'm interested in maybe a whoosh. Nope. A swoosh, maybe. I don't... Yeah, this one sounds good. Nope. Let's see. Nope. I need a normal one. Maybe this one. So that was normal V1. You can drag and drop on the timeline straight away, or you can just copy it to the media pool in case you want to have more control over it. Now, I'm not really interested in this audio track anymore because this is my main voice. So what I like to do when I'm working with audio tracks and audio files, I like to lock this one. The reason for that is I can drag this, and by mistake I can just put it over the audio track. If the track is locked, that doesn't happen. If it's not locked, see, you can barely tell the difference. So I'm just going to lock it for the sake of it. Now I need to cut this from here. Normally what I'm looking when I'm putting a sound effect here is the length of it to be quite the same with the length of the clip that needs to have, or the transition that is using that sound effect. Okay, that didn't sound bad, that didn't sound good either. Yeah, I like that. So this is like a simple. However, I want to try a normal. Let's see. No, not this one. Maybe this one. Nope. It takes a bit, obviously, until you find an appropriate sound effect, which is normal. Take your time until you find something which will, which you are happy with. Okay, that's too bad. Nope. Okay, back to swishes. Maybe a normal one again. No, because I've just used this one. V2. No, that's too aggressive. That is no. I'm just going to watch them like this. Oh my god, that was so bad. Oh my god, all of them are bad now. No, this is too weak. No. No. You know what? I think I'll stick with what I had before. Yeah, I will do. We'll do audio editing a bit later. For now, we have the intro. So by looking at the stream time, so we are at minute 47. So it took us like 10 to 15 minutes to only do the intro. So yeah, it's a bit more work to do. Okay,
Could you survive without a
so now I need to do a visual hook. For that, I'm going to use some titles. And actually I'm going to use only one title, which I used on one short and I really liked it. Not this one. Is it Tangerine, if I remember correctly? Yeah, I think it's Tangerine. So, could you survive without a heart? Without a heart.
could you survive without
So I'm going to place a marker here by just pressing M, and this is going to be without. I'm just marking my stuff.
without
So this is a point where I can actually use the timeline. Another mark, this is going to be A.
real hard
Real heart. Okay, I can actually use real heart. Real. What I'm doing right now is something which CapCut probably does in like 5 minutes. I'm just doing it manually. Heart. So this is the first text. I want to duplicate this from the timeline straight away, and I'm doing that by pressing Alt, the Alt key, then left click, drag and drop. And this is how I duplicated it. Duplicate. Okay. So A. If your screen is smaller, which is happening right now in my case, just do this. Drag this down so you'll have more space. Or if you are afraid to make a change to to duplicate it and cover one of these, just duplicate it next to it. Then you can put it up. Or to the left, does not really matter. Now, so could you survive without a real heart? I'm leaving them like that for now. I just want to make sure that I got it correctly. Without a real heart. Let's see how it looks.
without a real heart.
I'm quite happy with it. By the way, 31 views so far with 8 concurrent viewers. I'm impressed. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you so much. If you like our content and if you subscribe so you can help us get a bit more subscribers here and there, I would love it. Thank you very much. Now, I see that the text is properly aligned and linked with what I'm actually saying here. Good. Let's make it a bit more dynamic. Well, not necessarily dynamic. What I want to do, I want them to complete themselves in the frame while I'm speaking. So let's make without, like that. Settings, not zoom, sorry about that. Position without. Then this A, I'm going to make it bigger. Settings, A down here. And now real. No, I'm not doing it like that. I just want to do it like this. And this is the point where I want to be a bit more creative. Real. And then I need to place heart. And like that. If we go here, I want to make it be red. And now it looks like this.
Without a real heart, one Australian.
And I'm going to actually duplicate this and make some question marks and move them around. I'll put them, yeah, that's it.
Real heart, one.
Okay. What I can also do is just look on the internet, heart, PNG. let's see what we can find. Maybe this one, maybe this one. Okay, drag and drop. I'll just drop it here just because I know I don't have nothing. I know I don't have anything there. I recommend you to just drag and drop here. Okay, now I'm going to use this heart. I do not mind leaving the watermark there, obviously, because it's property of someone, and that's completely fine.
Without a real heart.
Good. Now we have this. We need to add some effects, some sound effects. For that, I'm going to use let's open a new tab. Let me see if I have it. No. Pop sound effect. This one. Bam. It's a simple pop sound effect, but it creates a lot of tension. So, and what I like to do is just to line it up with the first thing that's using it, and then I don't have to do that again many times.
Without a.
Okay, and now I'm just doing this. Drag and drop every single time when something new starts, which is here. Yeah. And see, let me show you what effect that has over the whole thing.
Without a real heart.
And this is, again, quite simple. It's a visual hook. It is definitely not the best. I know that, but it's better than having absolutely nothing. But I'm not done here with the intro. I'm going to click Control S to save everything. So let's see what we got so far. All right.
Could you survive?
By the way, keep in mind that I'm using my GPU to render this live stream in AV1, and also all the graphics thing that are happening in Davinci are being dealt with the GPU. So sorry if you see some lags here and there. Trust me, you'll be fine if you encounter that. I see that we're streaming at around 6,000 kilobits per second, so I'm more than happy with it. Let's see.
Could you survive without a real heart?
Now, what I want to do, I want to make a zoom in. So, first things first. Let's create a simple zoom in. Yeah, something to be like, something to make me to make me bigger and bigger in the frame. For that, as I said, we're going to click this little button right here, bam, and we have created the first point of automation. I'm going to go to the second to last frame, because if I go to the very last frame, I'm not seeing this clip anymore. I'm going to see what's starting here, because that's actually, well, technically speaking, this is the last frame. But if you go here and make an automation, it will be this will actually be treated as the last frame. But trust me, one single frame difference, it is not that big of a deal. Trust me. So I'm going to make a small zoom in, and as I said, I'm quite leaning to the left side of the frame, so I'm going to use the anchor point to make myself centered. And this is how it looks now.
Could you survive without a real heart?
So this creates visual tension because the frame is being zoomed in on me, but I want to amplify that even more. And this is actually where these markers are helping me, because here I know that I start saying heart. So I'm going to create another automation point. I'm going to go like 1, 2, 3 frames, and I'm actually going to make a very crazy zoom in, something like that. I'll go to the next automation point. So see, this is like 1362. I want to keep the same zoom until the end, 1362. By the way, these are linked here, so when I make a change on the x-axis, it will automatically apply on the y-axis as well. Save, and let's see how it looks now.
Could you survive without a real heart?
Okay, from what I see here, it can happen a bit earlier, which means I need to move this one from 122 here. So let's make it actually 115, and let's keep 136 here. Let's see how it looks. I'm doing it before I say heart.
Real heart.
This one looks better now. And because we learned that with a good visual effect, a good transition, a good sound effect pairs the best, I'm going to lock this track for now, and I'm going to look for here. I'm going to look for one of these two guys. Swish. And I think, yeah. So this shush short v2, as I said, you can just copy it here in the timeline, and it will apply itself. I'm going to open this just so I can line my transition. So as I said, my sound effect needs to be almost as long as the transition or the visual effect that I'm creating. In this case, I should be happy with it. Let's see how it looks now. Oopsie.
Heart. Feel heart. Feel heart.
This is where we encounter the first issue. I can simply just delete this. Let's see how it looks without it.
Heart. Feel heart.
And I'm quite happy with it.
Feel heart.
Because they're not synchronized and because they're not happening at the same time, sorry about that, it will sound like crap.
Heart.
What I can also do is this.
Heart. Heart.
You know what? I actually like it like that. So basically it starts just before I say heart, but the peak of the sound effect is actually when I say heart.
Heart. Heart.
Yep, that's it. And this is the intro. And we actually finished 3 seconds of the clip, bar the cuts, in just under 1 hour. So from here, I'm going to apply transitions, stuff like that, to make the video even more and more engaging. Now, I like to make transitions, like video transitions. So see here, I say one Australian. Yeah, so I basically start another idea. When you change the idea, or you talk about something else in general, that's when you want a video transition. And I have a few here, which are, by the way, which are free. I got them from the internet and are free. I love them. I'm going to use this glitch one because this is like one of my favorites. And the glitch one, I like it because it pairs very well with one of these sound effects. Okay, not this one. Maybe space signal. Nope. This one can also work, but system fail. Not system fail. Nope. Droid signals, maybe. Nope. The thing is, when I'm using this glitch effect, basically I'm emphasizing the idea of technology, and I like that a lot. So no, this is too long. Computer beep? Nope. Cyber glitch. Alien device? Nope. Droid signals? Nope. It takes a bit. Distorts drones? No, that's way too old actually. Screen calculations. You know what? Let's try with the screen. Well, so I got screen calculations. Robot panel? Nope. Robot console? Okay, robot console is something which I'm quite sure I'm going to use it. Hologram screen? But let's try this one. Okay, so this one is actually quite long. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to click save, and let's see how it looks. Oopsie, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Okay, it looks good. See what I did there? And if I play it from the very beginning,
Could you survive?
let me.
Could you survive without a real heart? One Australian man did.
And that's pretty much all about the intro. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for some points where, well, I'm going to go as I did with the cuts. I'm going to go with it, like I'm going to play it, and when I feel I can introduce something, well, I'll just put something there.
The man did for 100 days. Thanks to this incredible
100 days. Here I can zoom this one in. Anchor point.
Heart. One Australian man did for 100 days. Thanks to the
Okay.
Thanks to this days.
I can make a pause here for that. By the way, if you make a cut here, so as we talked before, these two are linked, yeah. But if you make a cut here and the other one is locked, trust me. Well, trust me. No, this one, the cut will not apply on that. So you'll need to unlock this one, and I can. Let's see how this one looks now. Oh, I did a noopsie.
100 days. Thanks to this.
Okay, I'm happy with it. So I'll lock this one again.
Days. Thanks to this incredible titanium heart. Vivacor's groundbreaking.
Thanks to this.
This incredible.
Now I need to show the titanium heart, and I need to find it on the internet. Titanium heart. If I see a titanium, oh, here you go. Is this one? Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. This is a web page. Basically, the ones which are covered by the web page, they're saying that basically, hey, do not use our content. As simple as that. So I'm just using the ones which can be downloaded. Now, this one, how do we make it enter the frame in a smooth way?
Incredible titanium heart.
So I'm happy with it being like here, with like entering the frame here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to make this a bit longer. Does not really matter. I'm going to automate the position. So here is the first point. I'm going here is going to be, well, this will be the first point.
Incredible.
So see, I want it to just come up, but I want it to come up like very quickly. So I'm going to go, oh my god, 1, 2, 3 frames before, make it. Okay, now I can make this. Now I can make this smaller, and this is how it will look.
Incredible, tight.
And because of, and now what I can do, I can go on this frame, on my frame, automate the position and the zoom, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So when this starts to show up, I'm going to get zoomed out because I can afford to do that. I'll show you what I'm doing here. 1, 2, 3. And right now, when I'll start making changes here on the position and zoom, it will automatically create another automation point in the timeline. So I'm going to zoom in a bit, zoom out actually, and modify the position. And this is how it will look now.
Incredible, tight.
This basically adds more dynamics to the frame because one frame comes in and basically the main frame makes enough space for it to show up. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to look for this. Sorry about my English. Okay, I'm going to look for this and I'm going to introduce the swish. The swish. You'll see what I'll do.
Incredible, tight.
Make it. I haven't explained that yet, but here on the audio track, you have this middle line which you are using to modify the volume. See, look at the volume. Obviously you can do it from here. I'd rather do it from, I'm used to do it from here.
Incredible, tight. Incredible, tight.
I don't like this sound effect. We should use the simple one.
Incredible, tight.
See, nice and simple. You don't need anything else. And you do not need to change it to like come back to normal because we have a cut here.
Vivacor's ground.
As simple as that. Yeah, so it ain't that bad. Now let's look for the Bivacor logo. Bivacor logo. If I find it as a PNG, then I'm going to be even happier. Oh, this doesn't really help me. Okay, let's just look for the logo. We can have it simple like that. Bivacor, replacing hearts, restoring lives. Damn, you do indeed. So, Bivacor, we need to have it on the screen for the first time. Bum bum bum. I'm going to make a simple intro. I'm going to use a pop sound, and this is how it's going to look.
Titanium heart. Vivacor's groundbreaking.
And now I can make another slow but smooth zoom in. I actually remembered something because I'm not sure I've done it here. Yeah, I haven't done it. So sorry for the like abrupt interruption, but I actually forgot to show you. So as I said, as I showed you with the effect, with the zoom effect, I can do this. Ease out and ease in to make it smoother.
Heart.
See, it's just a bit smoother. But as I said, when you get all the small details that you are doing and combine them in the grand scheme of things, you get a much better video. As simple as that. So now that I'm done here, I'll go here and make that zoom in that I talked to you about. Anchor, oh, not position, not the position, the anchor point. The anchor point. Basically, the anchor point is like an automated automation, if that makes any sense. It helps. Basically, when you set an anchor point, when you zoom in and set the anchor point, Davinci knows to arrange the zoom in and just and keep yourself where you set the anchor point. It's like I don't know how to show it to you. Basically, I've set the anchor point here, yeah, and when the zoom in will happen,
groundbreaking artificial heart has a
it just keeps me in the center, and that's basically what you need to know until now. At the next session, I'll show you. I'll come with a better explanation about the anchor point. I'm just tired now. I'm sorry.
single floating rotor held by magnets, no valve.
Held by magnets, I can leave it like that. No valves. Here I want to put a bit more emphasis on the fact that it has no valves.
Rotor held by magnets, no valves, no.
And here I can do a zoom out. One.
Magnets, no valves, no bearings, just pure titanium innovation. It replaced.
I am titanium. Please don't copyright me. Titanium PNG, maybe. Any chance? Okay. You know what? I'm actually going to use this. Just pure titanium innovation. We like it. We like how it sounds with another pop sound.
By magnets, no valves, no bearings, just.
Oh wait, it is actually here.
Just pure titanium innovation. It replaced both ventricles, pumping blood.
Okay, now Bivacor titanium. I'm trying to find something which can represent it. Maybe this one. Okay, or this one. Of course, it's protected. Fair enough. Okay, maybe this one. Bivacor, come on. No, it's not going to let me. But this one. Oh no, this is for Mercedes. Nice one. This is part of video editing as well, to just look for, you know, to look for images, because you need images. You need to basically show people what you actually mean. It looks like a turbocharger, by the way, if anyone thinks it. Okay, maybe this one. I like it. Oh, of course, it's protected. Oh my god. Why is new diff? Oh. I don't like ads in this kind of situations. Whatever. Let's just keep going. Maybe this one. This one seems like it. Okay.
Innovation. It replaced both ventricles.
Now with this one. You know what? I'm going to leave it on full size. And I'm going to automate this. And just do this. And let's see how it looks now.
Innovation. It replaced both ventricles, pumping blood perfectly while this patient waited.
Now we need to make another one of those zoom ins.
3 months perfectly while this patient waits.
Can I find that bivacor heart 3 months? I'm not good with looking. Okay, there's one. Are you kidding? Oh, come on now. Okay, I don't like what I see. Just give me something to use. And I'm sorry for my bad singing. Alright. This one, the guy decline. This one. The connected heart can text your doc. You know what? I'm just going to use this. Pictures. No. Go back. I'm just going to do it from here. Pictures. Screenshots. Good. I have it here. So.
Perfectly while this patient waited over.
Now we need to automate the zoom again. I'll do it by filling 1, 2, 3, 4. No, the anchor point.
3 months.
Okay, and when I say 3 months, I can add this as
3 months.
Okay, I'm quite happy with it so far.
3 months.
I can show it here.
3
Because we need to put this here. Here, my friend. What are you buying? Okay, let's see how it looks like.
3 months for and waited over 3 months.
This is not impactful enough. Again. He's out. He's in. For the people who are new here and do not really know what I'm doing, I would suggest you to go back to the starting of this stream. And you will understand absolutely, or at least I hope so, you'll understand absolutely everything of what I'm doing here.
3 months
This is perfect.
for a donor transplant. It's the long 3 months for a donor transplant. It's the longest anyone's ever lived with this tech, and it could.
I've just realized something. I'm not centered enough.
Anyone's ever
But I'll sort it out. I'll sort it out after.
One's ever lived with this tech. Live with this tech, and it could change the future for thousands stuck waiting for.
Okay, we're almost done, by the way. Just so you know, we are almost done. I think I'll be able to actually show you the export settings.
It could change the future.
And now let's look for something futuristic about heart transplant. Heart transplant. Well. Oh, you know what? No, this is no thank you. No thank you. I think I'm going to use this one. Health.com, would you let me? Thank you, health.com. By the way, I'm not saying that what I'm doing here with the images and everything is actually is ethical, but it's really hard for me to introduce the source in a short. I'm doing it on the long forms because it is fair, but it's really hard to do when you have a short. I hope you guys understand that.
And it could change the future for thousands stuck waiting for donor hearts. That's it. It could change the hearts.
Okay, I can. Yeah.
And it could
Here. So. No, zoom position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give it 4 frames. Here as well, and here, bam. Okay, then you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It could change. It could change.
Okay, I'm happy with it. Now, let me do another swoosh.
And it could change. And it could change the future. And it could change the future.
I don't like this swoosh. I hate it. I'm just going to use the classic. I don't know why I'm trying with that.
And it could change the future for thousands stuck waiting for.
Oh my god, I need to now, this is important, pay attention to details, cause I need to copy this, but because we have Windows clipboard, thank god, I'm just going to do this. Okay, 685, 069 069. No, it should look better.
Thousands stuck waiting for donor hearts. That's it.
Now another one bites the dust.
Donor hearts. That's insane. Could artificial hearts soon replace donor
I'm going to use this one again. But this time I'll make it smaller, and I'm going to use another pop sound.
Could artificial hearts soon replace donor transplants entirely? Let me know your thoughts.
Now I want 2 arrows to indicate, or wait, comments. Do I have YouTube short frame? Frame PNG, maybe short. So what I'm interested in, I kind of have to compare it. So it 1, 2, 3, the 4, 5 is quite in the middle, almost there. Yeah, you know what? I can actually do something like this. Arrow PNG. So I want 2 arrows, yeah, maybe this one, not JPEG, because okay, this one, bam 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 bam. So
Your thoughts.
this is perfect. I'm going to do this, rotate it, and change its position, duplicate it, flip. It doesn't do anything great, but it should be around here. Should be around here. And what I'm gonna do, because I want to make them like more more dynamic, I'm going to look for, well, in OpenFX, camera shake. You'll see this is fun.
And don't forget
Well, we don't want it to look like that, but I'm just going to do it here as well. I want it to be a bit slow.
in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. Thoughts in the comments.
This is perfect. Now I'm going to copy this and this, because again, we have a clipboard here. Thank you, Windows. One of the few things that I actually like about you.
Thoughts in the comments. And don't forget thoughts in the comments.
Okay. And now the last piece in the puzzle, the YouTube subscribe button, which will be just around here.
And don't forget to subscribe.
This is perfect. No, not you. You need to stay. And this should do. Well, actually, I can put it here, because you need to. You also need to have into. You need to take into account the fact that here you'll probably have descriptions and stuff like that. So yeah.
Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more amazing tech breakthroughs.
Good. Now, if you have headphones, get ready, because we're going to make audio editing. Let's have a last check.
Could you survive without a real heart? One Australian man did for 100 days, thanks to this incredible titanium heart. Vivacore's groundbreaking artificial heart has a single floating rotor held by magnets. No valves, no bearings, just pure titanium innovation. It replaced both ventricles, pumping blood perfectly while this patient waited over 3 months for a donor transplant. It's the longest anyone's ever lived with this tech, and it could change the future for thousands stuck waiting for donor hearts. That's insane. Could artificial hearts...
Okay, I'm happy with it. There's one last thing that I will do, but I'll do that after I actually mix my voice a bit, because everything sounds so low.
Pure titanium innovation.
So,
It
well, first things first, I went here into the Fairlight tab. I feel like Davinci is going to crash soon, so I'm just